Welcome, everybody, to this bonus episode for numbers 26 and 27, where we're again joined by my brother Josh while we're hanging out here in Minneapolis.
Yeah, so explain yourself, Josh.
Explain yourself.
Okay, well, a couple things.
I was born.
There's a couple things we can talk about. You know, you, like Jace, also raised in a Christianish environment. We can definitely get into that.
I feel like it was more than just Christian-ish,
Oh,
right?
yes.
It was pretty Christian.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting, though, because we didn't really go to church for a lot of our childhood.
Really?
Because our parents couldn't find a church they liked.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you bounce around churches a lot?
I feel like
definitely.
this is something where like my experience was a little bit different from yours,
Okay.
from being a little bit older, because it was like when I was maybe a tween or whatever is kind of when they got a little bit disillusioned with like we couldn't find a church that we liked.
Right.
Really?
So which for you would have been, you know, when you were nine or 10 or something
Sure,
like that.
yeah.
So I feel like
I was a pre-tween.
There you go.
everything's measured relative to being a tween.
Sure.
Right? You're a post-tween.
We're all post-tweens now.
Yeah.
You're a heavy post-tweet.
Yeah.
Post-tween.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, so like I still have kind of significant memories of going to church as a kid, but then not like during high school as much,
Yeah.
which is why I think Dedeker's recall of Bible stories is a lot better than mine,
Yeah, makes
because
sense.
she went to Sunday school more through
Wait,
high school, all of high school.
Yeah, it was basically from like 6 or 7 to about 16, 17.
Like
Okay.
she started
But
later,
pretty
but
solidly.
continued longer.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sunday school is a thing that you can go to that late in life.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I think of like young children
Yeah,
going to
right.
Sunday school.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, once you hit that post-tween
Sure.
phase, you know, then they would kind of try to make it a little bit cooler, and it was more like kind of like the
Youth
teens.
groupie,
Like
yeah.
the
Youth
little
group, yeah.
youth groupie. They would kind of
Okay.
group all the
Right.
teens together, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah. I feel like Jace was a little bit more youth groupy than I was.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just a product of like where we happened to be at different times, because we also moved around a lot, and
Yeah.
but like there was a youth group in the summers that I got into for a while.
Now, that
Even-
one I went with.
we both went.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
We played a lot of music
because we got to play music.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Did
cool.
the youth
There
group
you
have
go.
a name?
No, I don't think
Because
so.
that's what I love. I love
What
youth
was
group
yours?
names. I don't remember, but I remember that there was like the general youth group, and then there would be like kind of these breakouts of like it's like a Wednesday night Bible study youth group, or this is like our Sunday afternoon or whatever. One of them is called Crossfire.
That name sounds so familiar.
You got caught in the crossfire. Don't get caught in the.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, little throwback there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that one wasn't that every day?
Oh, and then our
So it was
I
a
think it
lot.
was like a daycare.
Our good friend-
I guess we were
Like a-
pretty Christian.
like a day
Yeah.
camp.
Y'all were pretty Christian.
our
all
good
y'all.
friend Lenny /Jason /Romy. He used to lead a youth group called Fishhook.
Fish, like your fishers of men.
God, these are
Wait,
good names.
what is
I know.
Fishers of Men?
That's in the New
You could
Testament.
teach a man to fish.
It's not quite that, but
It's not that.
Okay, listen, I feel like I'm probably not completely alone. There are probably people out there who are listening to this who don't have
Yeah,
any
no,
idea
you're
what
right.
the
You're
three
right,
of
you're
these
right.
people are talking about
right.
too. But
Fishers of Men is something that's going to come up in a few years when we get to the New Testament.
okay.
But basically, it's the idea that like you're kind of bringing more people into the fold.
Whoa, like you're
Fishing for them.
Fishing
you're
for men.
hooking them
You're
and
hooking
reeling
'em.
them in.
well, okay, it's
Yeah.
because Jesus initially the only people he could get to be friends with him were fishermen.
Oh,
and
why?
that was I don't know
Because
why.
they'd been out at sea and hadn't heard all the gossip about him, so they.
And then he
I don't
comes
know
in-
what
they
it was.
cut- he
yeah.
They
comes
were like,
in
you know,
like-
like working class people, you know,
Okay.
the lowly folk.
Common man.
Yeah,
Right.
the common man.
Right.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
his pitch to them was like, I'm gonna make you fishers of men instead of fishers of fish.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the deal.
So that was that.
mean,
The most
And
dangerous
they
fish.
were, yeah, and they were like, "Is this going to actually make me money?" Because I don't think so. And bye-bye.
And Jesus was like, shh, 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 shh.
Right.
Yeah,
Jesus
okay.
was like, also, you're always going to be poor, and I want you to give away all your stuff. Shh, shh, shh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're like, "This sounds
Okay,
terrible."
but we just come to the conclusion that you think you're actually pretty Christian because it was a daily thing.
I mean, we were going to a lot of youth group, it turns out.
Yeah, because it was during the summer, so like it was all the kids during summer break. But like when our parents had to go to work and whatever, we went to this day
youth
camp
group, yeah.
like a day camp. Like it wasn't like a sleepaway type camp.
No, it was
but we would
daytime,
go
yeah.
to the church to like the youth group building and hang out there every day and like play computer games and listen to DC talk and
Maybe you would. I would kiss Kimberly.
Oh.
I had different motivations for being
Is
in
that the
youth
name
group.
of a different youth group?
Yeah, kiss Kimberly.
Whoa. Wait, is that blasphemous?
I mean, we weren't married, so yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think at the time kissing wasn't
Yeah, this
forbidden in our.
It was definitely
Forgotten.
discouraged.
this
but-
group was not so fundamental.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, this
okay.
was-
So you can still kiss Kimberly.
This was it was what?
As long as it's Kimberly.
It was maybe was it Presbyterian or something? I don't remember
That
what it
checks
was.
out.
But yeah.
Presbyterians.
But
are kinda
yeah,
chill.
there was also a girl that I was into in the youth group too. So
Nice.
you know,
I don't remember that.
There might have been a
Wow,
couple
the
of them,
Lindgren
actually.
brothers.
Of course.
The Lindgren brothers just
course.
like going to town
Yeah.
with all
Yeah, I mean,
these youth group
cleaning up the youth
ladies.
group.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where else are you gonna?
Fishers of ladies.
Did you have? Oh god.
Okay, that's gonna be. Oh my god! I just had the most divine vision of
Divine.
A
Did
Did you have a
Christ-
prophecy just
Yes.
now?
Okay, I'm gonna prophesy.
Your
Hang
Balor,
on. Be ready.
Balak,
Balaam. I'm about to prophesy. Okay, a Christian pickup artist school.
Yes.
Fishers of ladies.
Fishers of ladies.
Like I hate
Side
everything
podcast.
about. I hate everything about it.
But also you love it.
Yeah.
So
boy.
okay, this all happened clearly like as you were going through your life. Dedeker, I have to ask you: did you ever pick up men, boys, young boys?
The young lads.
Yeah, did you ever pick up young lads?
You know what? I decided my dating pool was going to be elsewhere. Well, decided is a strong word. I tried.
Forced to go elsewhere.
I tried. I was never that popular in youth group, and that was actually okay. I
It's
really
'cause you
thought
didn't play music. That's
I
how
didn't
we
play-
did it.
Yeah.
I was in the drama club. Though.
That's why you didn't have any boyfriends.
Dude, if you played drums in youth group, you are knee deep in Kimberly's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoa! Wow.
No,
okay.
so what happened for me is I ended up
Jesus,
really
Louisa.
closely bonding with my to this day best friend David,
Yeah.
who ended up coming out as gay.
Yeah.
But neither of us were very popular in the youth group, and like felt it was all super cliquey, and so we kind of bonded and
So
clung
you
to
didn't
each
find
other.
a man, you found a David.
I found a David, and then we
It's really better
together.
than-
David and I were fishers of men at our high school.
yes.
Now that was a problem because everything I've been taught was like you got to date a Christian, you got to date a Christian, you got to date a
And
Christian.
you're
If
like,
you're gonna date,
Right.
you got to date a Christian. You got to
like,
find a man who's gonna court. You got to find a man who's gonna be your husband.
Right.
Be dating for a husband.
Right.
Don't be dating for a boyfriend or whatever. And
you're
it
like-
just never worked out that way. Like the Christian boys never went after me.
Yeah, and
But
now
all
here,
the-
now here we
all
are.
the tempting
we are.
secular boys did, and
Right.
here we are to this day.
Yeah.
So,
But are you still friends with David?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
I don't even know
Actually-
Kimberly anymore. I don't know what Kimberly's doing.
well,
Yeah,
David, I never
David's
kissed,
very
so
nice.
That's
Yeah.
That's what
the
I'm
secret.
saying is that, it's this platonic
Yeah.
yes.
friendship.
It's
Yeah.
a stronger. It's a more of a divine.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a
connection.
very divine, blessed
What's
union,
funny
I would
is
say.
I've got a lot of good memories hanging out with David because
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
gotten to know him
He's a good
also
guy.
in more recent years too. But was your mom driving the car and the three of us were in the back seat
gosh.
singing Plus One?
Is that
like,
what is
The
that?
Christian boy band that was
band.
really hot when I was a tween, actually, and I was in love with
Do you
all
know
of
what
them.
this is?
I heard +1, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh, I
like
loved
late
Plus
90s.
One.
I don't think there would be any anything in the world that would like have me know what the heck. Plus
Yeah,
One is.
you wouldn't have unless you were in
No,
the
unless you were
Christian music
Christian,
world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have a TV show? Did they come from a TV show or
No,
something?
they were
No.
just a boy band.
Yeah,
Just a
they
normal boy
did
band.
some like behind the scenes specials that I had on VHS.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, they weren't. Oh, I'm thinking of O-Town.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
my God.
they were not
Very
Christian.
different.
Ashley Parker Angel, okay? I know
See,
who
now
O-Town-
Emily knows.
No,
Yeah.
I watched the what was it? It was that like documentary on MTV about O-Town.
Okay, I kind of want to take a little bit of a left turn here,
Please.
Yes.
because I also want you to explain yourself as far as
Josh and Anand.
Josh and Anand. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so our theme song is Book Club
Yes.
from the album Home
The-
of the.
the-
Now
the-
tell me about that. Tell me about
Because we had
that.
a hard time pronouncing it
Yeah.
initially.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
we're used to it at this
Well,
point.
first of
but-
all, maybe we could stack this a little bit. Explain to me what Book Club is actually about, if you recall, and then tell
Oh,
me
yeah.
about how Home of the came about.
Sure. So, yeah, the song Book Club was.
Really, you're on
was
the
a
spot.
song, you know. It was
well,
a song.
It was about Anand's girlfriend at the time, who became his wife, who became his ex-wife.
Okay, wow.
well,
so yeah,
there we are.
That was one that Anand wrote. And it
This was
sort of,
before all that.
it was while he was his girlfriend at the time.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, it sort of deals a little bit with her dad.
I mean,
it does mention a
that
dad
is-
in
yeah.
the song
Yeah.
about and a dad having a book club.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he made a memory about her dad.
Yeah,
He's in a
that's
book
the
club.
words. Yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah.
yeah. He has a history of skimming past
Yes.
all the pages of ageless conventional.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, I guess, in a position to talk about
Okay.
We
like,
need to get on the
Anand's
show.
ex-wife's
Yeah.
dad.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, for him, like the idea of Anand's ex-wife's dad being in a book club was humorous.
Okay.
Interesting.
If that
Okay,
makes sense,
because
If you
it's
seemed
funny
like-
because for me, I've told you this before, Josh,
Hmm.
but to me, every Josh and Anand song is the two of you singing to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
love
so
that.
and so
I
to
kinda
me,
love that.
it's
Yeah.
Anand making a memory about our dad, being in a book club
I
and
love that.
skimming past the ages of conventional shit. And I'm like, yeah, I can see
he would do
that.
that. Yeah. I mean, a lot of Josh and Anand songs are us singing to each other. You're not wrong about that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So what about the album title?
So the Home of the was also an Anand title.
That's how we should say it.
So wait,
Yeah.
did you do anything on this album?
I showed up,
I sang some stuff.
sang some stuff.
Got
Yeah.
some sick beats.
God, I don't know. It's just trying to put myself back in that headspace because we made this record pretty shortly after coming out of college, and we formed this band in college. Originally, we were a trio.
Oh,
friend-
what?
Yeah,
I didn't. I
Called
mean,
the
you're
Bloom.
Josh and Anand.
yeah, I know. So we were the Bloom before, and then our friend Kyle left the band, left our college,
Kyle.
went off into the universe.
Wow.
Right.
He was a free
wilted.
spirit. He wilt. He just, he did something else. And the two of us were left with this band. And in the context of our college, it would have been pretentious to call ourselves anything other than our names. You know,
Oh,
it's a
I
kind of
see.
like, you're going out
Yeah.
there and being like, oh, we're the, the
I see.
superstars or whatever. It's like, no, it's just Josh and Anand, right?
I see. Because
Yeah,
everyone
okay.
knows you. It's a
Yeah.
small school, and it's just
Yeah.
like
Yes.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
context of Seattle, where we're at after college, maybe the name Josh and Anand didn't make as much sense. Especially because a lot of people can't pronounce the name Anand, I found.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Which is
true.
So
real
they're
bummer.
like and the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a real bummer. But, it made sense in that context, and we just kind of stuck with it. And so it was just that post-college world where we put out that full-length record,
Yeah.
Home of the.
Wow.
But why?
I mean, okay, so you've listened to Home of the.
Yeah, many times.
Yeah, I mean so that record had an opening and closing track that was all about just like conversions between the metric and imperial systems and stuff.
You're really selling it.
It's really good. I love this album, but but
okay.
I'm the one who picked our theme song.
So so the weird thing about writing songs with Anand is that we wrote a lot of songs where they were about different things for each of us.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And so
Okay.
for me, a lot of that record is about Ludwig van Wittgenstein.
Who?
Ludwig Wittgenstein, who is this philosopher of language.
Okay.
Josh, you were a philosophy major,
I was a
right?
philosophy and neuroscience major, yes.
Okay.
And so for me, a lot of it was about sort of the difficulty of meaning, of like establishing what words really mean and how does a word mean something to me and also mean the same thing to you.
Okay.
It's these language games we create to sort of establish truth. And Wittgenstein ultimately decided that truth was a language game. It was in the context of this game of language that we play, we establish what truth means. Beyond that, it means nothing.
Whoa.
So
I
for
love
me,
that.
That's deep, man.
so
Yeah.
that's what
I'm still waiting to understand. Okay.
yeah.
Well, so that's the context we were coming from. Our band would have been more popular if we wrote songs about girls, probably. About Kimberly's, as
Instead
it
of
were.
about their
Yes,
dads
yes.
and their book clubs.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, that was the context of that record is we were sort of thinking about this like sort of deferred meaning, this like
Okay.
this ambiguity, this search for meaning, and home of the, you think of like home of the brave, home of the, something, but it just kind of gets lost in the thes in the articles.
And I think that's
Wow.
why it's so hard to say is because your brain is so primed
Yes.
to be
To say
the
something
and
else.
some other word.
Yeah.
The whatever. And so for it to repeat the, it is like it stutters.
Like it stutters and just
yeah.
freaks out and then loses.
Yes.
yeah.
speed.
I guess then we pronounced it correctly.
Yeah, that's true. By
Yeah.
kind of getting caught. And I guess Wittgenstein
Wittgenstein.
would probably be proud.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he would, but thank you.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Wow, that was cool.
Yeah.
I want to close us out by talking about numbers briefly, since that's what we talked about in the main episode here. And this is specifically this blog that I looked up that had all the census numbers comparing from before. And at the end here, I'm going to read this just as it is, this paragraph here. It says, analysis of the numbers. This is fascinating.
Oh,
wait, it says this is fascinating? We promise. It is fascinating.
This is fascinating, period.
Okay.
Most populations grow over time. However, note the Israelites stayed the same, right? 0.3% decline.
Yeah.
They were wandering around the desert, doing nothing, accomplishing nothing.
I don't know about that, guy.
They were stagnant, nothing produced, no further advancement in society or civilization. God was probably very, very sad.
Oh.
Side note, I'm sure all you mathematicians loved this lesson. And I was like, yes!
Okay.
I just, that string of conclusions was just so bonkers.
yeah.
It's just like,
Wow.
okay.
Wow.
Well, this is also like Old Testament God versus New Testament God, because I feel like Old Testament God is like a Greek god, a Roman god that like gets sad, gets jealous, gets angry, like it's in fights.
I've
You know,
heard that from people. He's a jealous God.
yeah. Versus like the New Testament-y God, the like evangelical Christian
Is he
God.
sweet and stuff?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, the evangelical image of God is this like really loving, caring father figure who's not going to put up with your shit,
Right.
but he is literally loving and caring and forgiving and compassionate and
They
amazing and
clearly have
wonderful.
never read
And
the Old Testament.
But we'll also send you to hell.
but we'll send you to hell.
I
Sure.
guess
Yeah.
the fact that like you either live or you die, but like not eternal suffering, that's not a really big thing. That's not a thing at all.
In the Old Testament, not so much. There's not so many mentions of hell
Right.
necessarily.
Are there
yeah.
mentions of heaven that you've encountered?
There's mentions of an afterlife.
Okay.
There's
Kind of.
Sheol. They mention Sheol, which is kind of like the underworld, almost like the Greek underworld. Sheol.
Okay.
Not shield,
S-H-E-O-L?
like, yeah,
Agents of Shield.
exactly.
Agents of
yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
no.
yeah. Yeah, so, which is like the we talked about this a little bit, like in the history of English, like the word hell, I think, actually comes from something related to that, but it's like an underworld that was believed to be under the sea.
Oh,
where
what?
dead
It's actually
bodies
a
would
I
cool
love
go.
that
place.
so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know if I do because there's some terrible things in the sea.
Yeah, the sea is a terrifying
No,
thing.
that's why I love it. It's so creepy.
Yeah.
It is
You know,
creepy. Yeah,
like the
that's true.
fiery hell is like we're so used to it. It's such a
Yeah,
so
we're like, yeah, whatever.
desensitized.
yeah, exactly. Whereas like underwater hell, that's a creepy hell.
Yeah.
True.
But it's not even a hell, it's just kind of the underworld total.
Right.
Like everyone went there.
Oh,
yeah, almost
right?
like the Greek underworld, where it's like it's not necessarily about suffering.
Yeah.
It's just this
okay.
is where you go,
It's just
Yeah.
and that's it.
under
Yeah.
the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a fun
Under the
party. Who
sea.
knows? Maybe we all become
Maybe.
mermaids. It's
Yeah.
great.
That sounds good.
I'm going to leave you with a final little teaser for something to come.
Oh.
This thing of Zelophehad's daughters getting their inheritance is going to come back.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
Bite us in the ass
Oh, yeah?
in Numbers 36, so a few episodes from now.
Wow.
Because it's going to pose a problem when they get married.
oh,
And with that,
boy.
Wow.
we will see you next week.
Somebody's going to die.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you.